Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy CJ Beasley here, back again. Today we have another battle from the UBLN. Today we are taking on we're taking on Master Roshi, coach of the Ashton Villa Amphro, something like that. I don't know exactly how to say it, but you get what I'm trying to say. We actually, if you notice by the thumbnails of my two videos I'm just posting today, we actually are doing a double header against him. It just so happened that the two battles lined up where I battle him in both of my leagues. So the RWL and the UBLN, I'm playing him back to back, which is kind of annoying for the scheduling. That's why this video is going out a day late, because the only day he was available with such a big time period to do both the battles was Sunday. So I didn't get them recorded till today, which I'm hoping these are going up by Monday. So I didn't get them recorded till Monday. So I battled doubleheader on Sunday. I'm doing all the recording today, which is Sunday night, and then I should have my battle back up again on Monday. So anyways, guys, so like I said, we're battling him this week in the UBLN. He's a really good battler. I battled him before. I definitely expect some spicy sets from him. So just hopping right into things, looking at his team, he has Tapu Koko, Scizor, whatever you want to say, Donphan, Porygon 2, Sableye, Golbat, Entei, Hitmontop, Salamence, Seismitoad, and Mega Aerodactyl. So things I noticed right off the bat is that the Mega Aerodactyl outspeeds everything on my team, but my Mega Lopunny outspeeds everything on his team that isn't the Mega Aerodactyl, so I kind of have to have a defensive check for that. Something else I noticed is that a physical, like with a flying AMZ, Tapu Koko is really annoying for my team just to deal with in general. And he has really good pivot options in pretty much just the Koko and the Scizor, and a little bit in the Golbat if he decides to run U-turn. But pivot's really annoying for my team. Especially since, my team's slow and bulky and just wants to sit in front of everything, but if he just keeps pivoting around, it'll eventually get worn down. So we kind of have to play around that this week. Other things I noticed is that he has double Eviolite users in Porygon 2 and Golbat, but those are really looking to be both really annoying for my team this week. So anyways, let's hop right into what I am bringing. So first up, we got Jessica the Rabbit, Mega Lopunny with the Limber ability before Mega Evolves, obviously Scrappy after Mega Evolves, with the Return, High Jump Kick, Power Up Punch, and Ice Punch, with 28 HP, Max Attack, 4 Defense, and 4 Special Defense, and 220 Speed. So this is pretty much a basic set. Basically, it just outspeeds the Tapu Koko, which is his fastest thing out of Mega Aerodactyl. And I just maxed out its attack stat, and then just kind of poured the rest into the bulk, just kind of spread things around a little bit as I seem fit. We got Return and High Jump Kick, obviously always as our main damage output. And then in that third spot as Power Punch, it originally wasn't Power Up Punch. Originally it was Fire Punch, then it was Fake Out. But I decided on Power Up Punch just for the fact that he does have dual Intimidate. So just kind of keeping at neutral attack or even getting up to +1 is going to be really big against his team. As, like I said, the only thing that outspeeds is the Mega Aerodactyl. Unless it's something Scarfed, of course. And then the Ice Punch is just for things like Golbat, the Salamence, stuff like that, just to hit neutrally. Or not neutrally, excuse me, super effectively. So yeah, like I said, this is pretty much a basic set. Just basically just neutral coverage and then Power Up Punch. So next up, we got Cousin It, our Tangrowth. With the Leftovers, Regenerator, Knockoff, Leech Seed, Protect, and Synthesis, with 224 HP, 204 Defense with an Impish Nature, and 60 Special Defense. Pretty similar to last week's, but I thought this set would be really good against his team this week as well. The Knockoff is getting rid of those Eviolites, like on Golbat, which could potentially hard switch into a Tangrowth, or even Porygon 2, which likes to Ice Beam the Tangrowth. So just kind of being able to get rid of those items, and just generally against his team, he doesn't really have the best switch-ins to knock off anyways, outside of like maybe in Mega Aerodactyl or something. Leech Seed is obviously just for recovery and just slowly whittle things down. Protect is because this is my main Tapu Koko check, but obviously if he's Flyinium Z, he will obviously be able to nuke me. So Protect is there for the Leech Seed, just gain free recovery and with the leftovers, and it's also to bait out the Z move and then just Protect on it. And the Synthesis is just for general recovery, just for longevity and stuff like that. You could argue Earthquake should be somewhere on this set, especially for Tapu Koko, and I was considering it for a while, like up until pretty much the last minute, but I just decided to go with what I had initially built. So, like I said, this is my main switch into the Tapu Koko. Can take 2 Brave Birds after rocks and be able to synthesis up, or Leech Seed or whatever. It also can take 2 Dazzling Gleams after rocks and Leech Seed or synthesis, like I said. So this is my primary Tapu Koko check. But next up, we got Frank Further. I don't know how to pronounce that right. With the Alalumula, with the Rocky Helmet, also Regenerator, with Scald, Wish, Protect, and Toxic. With 116 HP, max defense with a Bold Nature, and then 140 special defense. This set is basically to counter all of his physical walls that he has. He has so many of them, so just kind of being able to wall those things is going to be super nice. Stuff like the Salamence, the Scizor, the Entei, easily Entei, Aerodactyl, Hitmontop, all that stuff just gets walled by this set. The EV spread is basically just so nothing is doing more than a 3-hit KO on me, so I can easily just Wish, Protect, Scald, Toxic, stall it with ease. The Scald hits everything on his team, and if it doesn't get hit by that, it's going to get hit by the Toxic, and Alalumula pretty much just can sit in front of everything on his team outside of like a offensive Porygon 2 or a Tapu Koko, obviously, especially in electric terrain, so gotta look out for that. And then obviously the rest was just poured into special defense just as I needed it, just because with the 116 HP and the max defense, that's pretty much all I needed, so the rest was just kind of poured into special defense. But like I said, this plus the Tangrowth is my main defensive core this week, as it does you know, just kind of sits in front of his team, and it's just like super annoying, especially getting toxic damage on everything and just being able to protect and just slowly whittle things down. And then obviously the Rocky Helmet, so he doesn't get free pivot with U-turn, as I do expect the Koko to have U-turn and the Scizor to have U-turn, and potentially the Golbat if he brings it to have U-turn. So next up we got our LeBron James, our Nidoking, if you get that joke. With a Life Orb, Sheer Force, with Earth Power, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam with a Stealth Rock. With 108 HP, 12 defense, max special attack with a Modest Nature, 36 special defense, and 100 speed. This speed creeps a Adamant Scizor. Just because that's the fastest thing I thought he'd, like, that's pretty much the best speed tier I could think of to kind of speed creep. So it outspeeds an Adamant Scizor. Earth Power, I can't speak. Earth Power with Flamethrower and Ice Beam pretty much covers his entire team super effectively, outside of like Porygon and the Seismitoad, but pretty much everything else it has super effective coverage for. And with the Life Orb, Sheer Force, it's just going to be bodying his entire team. I expect this to put in so much work this week. It's also a defensive switch into Tapu Koko, as it can take 2 Brave Birds if he's an offensive physical set like I expect him to be. And it can also live a +1 Modest Life Orb Hidden Power Ice if it comes down to that with this special bolt, which I obviously don't expect that to be a thing, but you know, I had extra EVs to put in bulk, so I thought why not. And then Stealth Rocks are obviously really good for his team. He has a lot of things that are weak to rocks, so I expect them to be really useful this week. And like I said, this is pretty much just it's kind of a wall breaker. Obviously it doesn't break stuff like the Porygon, and it doesn't really want to stay in on a Seismitoad, but pretty much everything else it just kind of clicks buttons on and just kind of deals damage. So yeah. Next up, we got Candlehead, our Gardevoir, with the Babiri Berry. Yeah, I think I said that right. With Trace, Moonblast, Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, and Heal Bell. With 20 HP, 4 defense, 4 special defense, max special attack, and 228 speed. This outspeeds Adamant Scizor, I believe, or is it might be Jolly Scizor. I can't remember at this moment, but it outspeeds Scizors. That's the only thing that matters. With Moonblast and Psychic, it pretty much covers his entire team outside of Scizor, and Hidden Power Fire is obviously there for it. And I have the Trace with the Hidden Power Fire and the Berry. So let me explain what this set's for. So this is kind of to, you know, if the Scizor comes in and it just kind of, you know, is wrecking my team and I don't really think I have very good options against it, I can bring this set in, and as long as he's not Sword Stanced up, even if he's a Choice Banded set, this always lives with a Choice Banded Bullet Punch, no matter what. So from full at least. So I can eat the Berry, take the Bullet Punch, and with Trace, if I bring it in on the Scizor, I'll have Technician. And so Technician, Hidden Power Fire, OHKOs, even if he's Assault Vested, like a 252 4 set with the Assault Vest still gets OHKO'd by Hidden Power Fire, or even obviously like Akaberry gets OHKO'd by this set. So I'm really excited to use this. And then obviously the Heal Bell's there, one, because I didn't think I needed really any more coverage, and two, if he has Toxic on anything like Toxic Porygon 2 or whatever, my Alomola and my Tingrowth don't really appreciate those, and I really need to keep those things around so I can just Heal Bell off that slow chip, or even like a burn or paralysis on Lopunny or Mew. Something like that would be annoying, so it kind of just heals those off. So yeah, so this is kind of, like I said, it's kind of a bait-in for the Scizor, and it's also a check to stuff like Sableye, stuff like that, Golbat. I mean, it's not the best check to Golbat, as it could like run like Poison Fang, I guess, or something like that, or Cross Poison or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, like it does really good work against this team this week. And then finally, we got our sweeper, hopefully, Mighty Mouse the Mew, with the Psyche EMZ, I guess, with Synchronized Psychic, Flamethrower, Dazzling Gleam, and Nasty Plot, with 4 defense, max special attack, and max speed with a Timid Nature. This, like I said, is going to be my sweeper. Obviously, Mew and EMZ, or however you say it, is banned in this league for obvious reasons, because it's a broken Z move. So I'm forced to run the Psyche EMZ, which is totally fine. Psychic Flamethrower and Dazzling Gleam pretty much covers the entire team super effectively, outside of like the Seismitoad, which if I get to +2 it doesn't matter, or the Entei, which if I get to +2 it doesn't matter, or the Porygon 2, which if I saw my Z move around it doesn't matter after I get up to +2, stuff like that. So this set is going to be, it's looking to do really good work against this team. The only thing that's not really scary are the things that are faster in it, like the Tapu Koko or the Mega Aerodactyl, but once I get those threats out of the way, this pretty much can run shop against him. So I'm really excited to use this. I obviously ran max speed just to speed tie with the Salamence. You know, I didn't really need the bulk for anything, and then max special attack just to get the most damage out as possible. So like I said, late game, if I can get this in and just start clicking Nasty Plot when all of his threats are gone, this pretty much just wins the game. So I'm really excited to use this. Really excited to see how much work I can put in with it. So anyways, guys, let's stop talking about my team. Really excited to use this, but let's just hop right into the battle. Alright guys, so we're back. So just looking at the team he brought Donphan, Scizor, Golbat, Porygon 2, Salamence, and Tapu Koko. Pretty much everything I expected, except I probably expected the Mega Aerodactyl to come maybe instead of the Golbat or something, but you know, it's not the like unimaginable that the Mega Aerodactyl didn't come, especially since I had the Alomola who just walled that thing. So it's not 100% unexpectable that it didn't come. But just looking at the team he has, and that he's bringing, I was kind of looking at a good lead matchup, and I just kind of saw the Nidoking. I'm like, well, the only really bad lead matchup would kind of be the Porygon 2 or the Donphan, as if he did want to go for Earthquake turn 1, if he was an offensive set, it would OHKO me. As the Donphan and the Porygon 2 just kind of sits in front of me, and if he has Trace, then he traces the Sheer Force, which can be really annoying. But besides that, everything else doesn't like leading up against the Nidoking, so I decided to leave the Nidoking here. It really has a good matchup. If I can get it in on the Tapu Koko or something, I can set up free rocks or something like that. So that's just what I'm going to do. So here we lead LeBron James, the Nidoking, like I said. As I do see him actually lead the Donphan, which was kind of annoying. So I knew I had to switch out here, but I knew I had a free switch into the Alomola every single time, so I brought that in. So free Alalumula, as he does just go for the Earthquake, like I said, that he could possibly do, which would OHKO my Nidoking if he was an offensive set. But just looking at the damage output here, he is not an offensive set. He actually has no investment, just based off the calcs, so that's pretty nice. And I'm just going to throw off a Toxic, as the only thing that really wants to come in on a Toxic is the Scizor. But I can easily Scald that thing or just Wish Up in its face, as he does just want to set up his Stealth Rocks, which is fine. I don't have removal this week, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal, as nothing on my team is really weak to rocks, and especially since I have Regenerator on Alalumula and Tangrowth, it's not that big of a deal. So here I expect him to switch out, so I do just go for the, I believe I expected him to switch out, but either way, he goes into his Tapu Koko, as I do just go for the Wish, as I can Wish Pass into something, just get a little bit of recovery back if I do decide to stay in. But I do switch out here into my LeBron James, go back out into that, just kind of scouting what he wants to do. As I do see him just go for the U-turn, so I do kind of suspect, I expected the U-turn over the Volt Switch since I had the Nidoking, but I do suspect at this point that's going to be a physical set, like a Flyinium Z set, which is kind of scary. As he does go out into his Porygon, and we do see the Trace, so he's going to Trace a Sheer Force, which is really scary, especially if he has Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, that kind of destroys my team. So that's not good, but here I'm just going to get my free Stealth Rocks, just kind of scouting what he wants to do. He can Ice Beam if he wants to, but you know, I don't really expect that turn one, as he does just go for the Thunderbolt, kind of overplaying there. But you know, like staying in was kind of, it wasn't the smartest play, but it was higher risk, higher reward, as I do get my rocks up for free. So I'm going to switch back out into my Alalumula, as I do expect him just to Ice Beam this time. So we're going to take some Ice Beam damage, and I do just Protect here, as I don't want to take the Thunderbolt in Electric Terrain damage, as well as just kind of stalling at the Electric Terrain, as Electric Terrain boosted Thunderbolts really hurt. So here the Electric Terrain goes away, so I can easily just go for a Wish. So that's what I'm going to do right here, as he does just go for a Thunderbolt again, and just based off this damage, I see that he's not really that invested, which was expected. I didn't expect him to be that offensive, but I'm just going to Protect to get that Wish back. Just kind of seeing what he wants to do. He probably expected me to pass it, as he does, so he goes for the Ice Beam, which is totally fine. And here I'm kind of in a losing battle, but I can just Wish again, and then pass that into something else, as he does just go into his Donphan, which was a really weird play. I think he expected me to go out into Nidoking maybe, but I actually just go for the Toxic here. Excuse me, I didn't Wish. I just go for the Toxic, just if he wanted to hit this thing again with Thunderbolt, I could get a free Toxic off on the Porygon too. But here I'm just going to get a free Wish off, as he literally can't do anything to me. So he does just go for the Rapid Spin to get rid of my rocks, which is totally fine. That's kind of what I expected him to do, either that or the Earthquake, but with the Rapid Spin, I do get the Rocky Helmet recoil on him. Oh, and we do see that he's leftovers. We saw that a couple turns ago, but we do see he's leftovers. And he's down to about 67%. And so here I'm just going to easily Wish Pass into my cousin the Tangrowth, as I do expect him to probably go back out into Tapu Koko. So he is going to switch out, and he does go back out into Tapu Koko, which is totally fine. But I kind of got to be careful around this set, as he obviously could be a excuse me, he could obviously be a Flyinium Z set, or even just a Brave Bird set, which is really annoying. So here I'm just going to Protect to kind of scout out what he wants to go for, as he does just click U-turn. So he does expect me, he does just kind of want to get a momentum off there, but he actually just goes for Nature's Madness this turn, as I know I can take any hit from full. And I do just go for the Leech Seed. And so I'm going to get some Leftovers recovery and the Leech Seed recovery, bring me up to about 75%, or close to that. So we're going to get a little bit of Leech Seed chip off on him, as we do get about 75%-ish here. And so here I'm just going to Protect. No reason not to Protect. He doesn't really have the best switch-ins outside of Scizor, as he does go out into his Scizor, but I can just easily Protect again, or just go out into my Alalumula for free, as Scizor doesn't touch my Alalumula. So that is actually what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to go back out into my Alalumula. Like I expected, this core of Alalumula and the Tangrowth is really annoying for his team to deal with. So I'm really excited. I'm really happy to see this kind of defensive core put in work here, as he is just going to U-turn and take some Rocky Helmet damage, which is perfect. as he just does go back out into his Tapu Koko. So here his electric terrain's gone. So I'm not too scared of Koko outside of electric terrain, but I'm just going to switch right back out into my Tangrowth, as I know this is a really good switch into Tapu Koko, unless if he's a Brave Bird set, or a Z Brave Bird more specifically. As he does just click Nature's Madness. So here he's just going to click Nature's Madness, as I'm going to take obviously half of my HP. And here I'm just going to Protect to kind of see what he wants to go for. Just kind of scouting out things. As he does just go for the Brave Bird. So this should have automatically been setting off alarms in my head that he was Z Brave Bird, but unfortunately it didn't. I just kind of was like, oh, he just has raw Brave Bird. But that Protect was super obvious, so I stay in, unfortunately, and he does click the Z Brave Bird. I mean, I didn't have the best switch-ins to this anyways, besides like Alomola could take one, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. I kind of misplayed there. But it's not the end of the world, as I still do have my my Nidoking, who can still handle this pretty decently, especially since I know he's the Brave Bird set. So I can handle this pretty nicely, as my cousin the Tangrowth, does go down here, unfortunately. But I can freely go out into my Lopunny, actually. You know, Tapu Koko always gets outsped by this, unless if he's Choice Scarf, which obviously he's not. And I actually don't Oko him, and if he was a Thunderbolt set, he would have done big damage to me, but I didn't expect him to want to stay in, so I just pulled a double, as I did expect him to go out into Golbat, or something, you know, something along those lines, or maybe even a bulky Solomon, something like that. So I do go back out into my Alomola, and so here I really didn't want to get Toxic yet, and I really expected him to go for Toxic, but he had it there, so I do double back out into my Nidoking, as he does just go for the U-turn, so he has a lot of momentum on this team, which is really annoying for me, as my team's, you know, just kind of bulky and wants to sit there, but he just keeps pivoting around. And so here he's going to go out into Porygon 2, and he trace the Sheer Force again, which is really annoying, as I don't really have the best switch-ins to this thing. But I will just go back out into, or actually I just go into my Gardevoir, as I can trace the Sheer Force that he traced, which I thought was pretty cool. As he does just go for the Ice Beam, and based off that Ice Beam damage, I can obviously take another one pretty easily, so I'm just going to click the Moonblast, just get as much damage off as I can on this thing. No reason to really save this thing. It's not really doing anything at this point. It's just kind of dead weight. So he's going to click Thunderbolt, which I can obviously take, and I'm just going to click Moonblast again. If he wants to, you know, let this thing... if he wants to recover, I can click Moonblast in the following turn and just try to get as much damage off on this. But he does just want to take me out here, which is perfect, because I can easily go out into my Mew, my Mighty Mouse, and just threaten him out and get a free Nasty Plot off on whatever he wants to go out into. The only thing he could go out to is a Tapu Koko, but Tapu Koko's not really doing much to me from while I'm at full. So here I was doing the Calyx, and a Banded Bullet Punch doesn't Oko me, so I stayed in and just clicked the Flamethrower, as a +2 Flamethrower always Oko'd, even if he was max HP, max defense with a Akaberry. So I just clicked the Flamethrower, as he does go for the Bullet Punch, and based off that damage, we do see he's some sort of boosting on him, so he might be Muscle Band, or I expected him to be like Metal Coat or something like that. But either way, he's going to go down, and he's going to go right out to his Tapu Koko, as it's the only thing on his team that guarantees outspeeds me. The Salaman's potentially speed ties, but doesn't have speed. So here I'm actually going to make a risky play and go out into my Alomola, as I do expect him just to want to go for U-turn, as he does. So that's free Rocket Helmet damage off on the Tapu Koko, bringing him down to about 75%, as he doesn't really have the best switch-ins to this thing. So he goes out into his Porygon 2, which is totally fine by me. He does trace the Regenerator, which is kind of annoying, because next time he switches out, he gets recovery. But I'm just going to click Toxic here. Just start slowly whittling this thing down, as we do see him go for the Toxic of his own, but he actually misses, which, you know, it kind of sucks for him, but I feel like it didn't really impact the game that much, except for, like, how I played my Alomola. I feel like I would have played it more conservatively and switch out more often. But, you know, without him clicking Toxic, or getting the Toxic off, it kind of let me stay in longer, which was nicer for me. But it wasn't the end of the world. So he's just going to recover as I go for the wish. And the protect was super obvious here, so I'm just going to click Scald. As I do expect him to want to switch out into something, so I'm just going to click the Scald, get some damage off. And I knew if he went out to the top Coco, it would bring him below half, which as we see right here, it does, which is absolutely perfect. So here I'm just going to go for the protect, just burn the last turn of electric terrain, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, as he does just go for the Nature's Madness, and yeah, it burns the last turn of electric terrain. So here I expect him to be full physical set, so I expect the Wild Charge to be coming out, which it does. And so off the calcs, outside of electric terrain, it doesn't even do half, which is absolutely wild to me. So he's going to take the recoil damage and the Rocky Helmet damage, so I'm just going to get a free wish up. And the protect was like super obvious here, and I totally expected him to switch out. And he goes back out into his Porygon 2, so I'm just going to click the, I believe I clicked the Scald here, just to pick off that Coco if you want to stay in, yeah. So I'm just going to click Scald, get like a tiny bit of damage off on this Porygon 2, and just slowly starting wanting to whittle this thing down, with the Toxic starting to rack up. So I'm just going to protect here to see what he wants to go for. Obviously the Thunderbolt's pretty obvious from him, or the Toxic, as he does go for the Toxic. And so I just get the protect just to scout what he wanted to go for. And here I can go right out into my Nidoking, I believe, if I remember correctly, yes. So I go into my Nidoking, as I do expect him just to Toxic again, or Thunderbolt, as he does just go for the Toxic, which is 100% perfect. So here he's going to be brought down to about 60% after the Toxic damage, and I know I can live in Ice Beam easily, so I'm just going to set my Stealth Rocks as the Tapu Koko can't come in for free, and if he tries to go out into his Donphan, I can OHKO with Ice Beam since the sturdy is broken. So he's just going to click the Ice Beam here, and it's just going to bring me about 25%, but he's going to be brought down to about 40%. And I knew an Earth Power 1 KO, but I just wanted to put him in range of like a Mew not having to boost up to KO, and then plus I didn't expect him to want to just let this thing go down to Toxic damage plus an attack, so I expected him to recover there, so the Earth Power was super free. And based off this damage, I know I can click Earth Power again, as he is down to about 30%, and just KO him this time easily. So that's what we're going to do. So we get the Porygon out of the way, and it is a big threat, so I'm super glad that's out of the way. But here he actually goes down to top of Coco, which I thought was super weird, as he did have other opportunities later in the game to defog, or Rapid Spin rather, away those rocks. So I thought that was really weird. So he gave me the top of Coco for free, which I was 100% okay with. And he goes down to Donphan here, and I'm like, I don't think he expects me to have Ice Beam, I guess. So I'm just going to click it, as this will 100% OHKO this thing. So it goes down too. So those are 2 free KOs for the Nidoking, which I am not upset about whatsoever. And so here he's going to go out to his Golbat. He only has the Golbat and the Salamence left. So I'm just going to click Ice Beam, just get as much damage off on this thing as I can. As he goes down to about 5-10%, as I didn't expect to OHKO him, so it was totally fine that calc happened. As he will just go for the Brave Bird, pick me off, but he will also die to the Brave Bird recoil. And so here I kind of it's kind of a misplay, but it works out. So I go onto my Mighty Mouse, my Mew, as he does go. Oh no, it's not a misplay. Okay, so let me pause it. Okay, so it's not a misplay because I expected. Obviously, he had to go onto Salamence. So I knew I had the Psychic EMZ for the Salamence, so I could OHKO him with that if he if I outsped him, I would OHKO, and if I didn't, if he tried to Dragon Dance up in my face, it was still OHKO. So I thought that was 100% okay. And the reason I went out to this instead of the Mega Lopunny is because obviously he has Intimidate. So obviously I didn't want to get intimidated, so I go out into this. He either KOs me and I can go out to my Mega Lopunny for free without the Intimidate, or I just outspeed him and OHKO him with a Z move either way. So it's not a misplay, I don't know what I was saying. But here he's obviously going to get the Intimidate off, and I'm just going to click the Z move, and we do win the speed tie, the potential speed tie. I don't know if he was Jolly or adamant or not, but we potentially win the speed tie there, so we will be able to easily OHKO him as long as he's not like Assault Vested Salamence, which I don't expect him to be. So we're just going to let this animation roll out, and I'll just tell you right now, spoilers, that he does get OHKO'd by this. So good game to Master Roshi. Really great battler. Definitely go check him out, guys. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. If he does have a YouTube channel, I'll definitely link it below. But like I said, he's a really great battler. Really happy we pulled out this second W of the season and all that fun stuff. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, hit the bell notification, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.